Hey Lydia. Hello gorgeous. How are ya? Look at you sit up there in your little seat with all your toys in front of you.
They certainly will. After all, it is the crossbenchers that ultimately decide who the Prime Minister is. Now, Andrew Wilkie said earlier this week that he feels he could work better with Kevin Rudd than with Julia Gillard. Today, independent Tony Windsor and Greens leader Bob Brown spoke about the leadership crisis. Mr Windsor says he has an agreement with Julia Gillard only, while Senator Brown doesn't really care who the leader is, as long as it's not Tony Abbott.
Hey, hey, hey.
Nearly wrecked my house on but in that, if it did in fact occur, all bets would be off. And the agreement that I have is with the Prime Minister, the current Prime Minister. There was tentative call from Kevin Rudd last night from Washington. It didn't come through. I had a very good sleep. I'm available to talk with anybody about anything.
And Bob Catter says he simply doesn't want to talk about the issue because he sided with the opposition after the last election. Amelia?
Okay, no doubt we will hear from him though in the near future. John, thank you so much for that. Well, despite being one of the more tumultuous days in her political career, Julia Gillard was still out and about today.
Did you play with any of your toys?
Children in Adelaide's West. And for more, reporter Tom Richardson is at Parliament House in Adelaide. Tom, what's the Prime Minister's next move now?
Well, understandably, her office is keeping a pretty tight rein on her schedule, obviously keen not to give anything away to the Rudd camp and presumably keen to avoid anything like that infamous Australia Day incident again. But we do now understand that the Prime Minister is planning to spend tonight in Adelaide before returning to Canberra. Now, obviously, she was caught off guard on a whistle stop to Adelaide, where she did grow up with Kevin Rudd.
Oh, you got your toy, haven't you?
Here in the CBD before visiting her parents for a late dinner, where amid the maelstrom of confusion, one of our cameramen had his foot run over by her security detail. Then, of course, today she held a very stately press conference here, but a very bizarre press conference here at Parliament House in Adelaide, in a courtyard usually reserved for lonely state opposition media calls. But today, of course, it hosted one of the more significant press conferences in recent Australian history. Now, the Prime Minister was very forthright, spoke at length without notes, and took a number of questions even after her media advisors.
You bite on it, are you?
The move on series, and even locked horns with a reporter from the Australian newspaper whose line of questioning she took exception to. So it was obviously a very forthright performance.
Make it look like it's a sting, really.
Expected she'd have to give when she arrived in Adelaide yesterday.
Yeah, you'd have to say she was showing some strength there.
Hi, darling.
We're going to go live now to Nine's Today Show and 2GB presenter Ben Fordham, who's in Sydney. Ben, good afternoon. You've been on air for most of the afternoon. What reaction are you getting from your listeners?
Well, Amelia, a lot of it is just a bit of confusion from people, to be honest, because they've heard so much in the last 24 hours. People talking about Kevin Rudd and his announcement in Washington, now Julia Gillard and everything heading towards Monday. I suppose there's a little bit of confusion about how all this will work, and if Kevin Rudd isn't necessarily looking like he's got the numbers at the moment, how does it mean that he's able to bounce back and have a second go? The one thing
Hey, dummy. Look. It's a dummy.
Labor voters, more people are warm to Kevin Rudd, certainly the people who I've been talking to on air this afternoon, than Julia Gillard. And the thing that comes up time and time again, first of all, was the axing of Kevin Rudd. People still can't get that out of their
You can
heads.
get it, darling.
They didn't have a chance to vote him out of the office.
That's it. See it? You just got to reach for it.
The carbon tax promise from Julia Gillard.
You're a clever girl, aren't you? You show us how clever you are. Hey. Lydia. Lydia.
Kevin Rudd, because I'm voting for him.
Why?
Because I like him.
Just leave the Prime Minister alone, let her run her course.
Well, I think the men don't like a woman at the head of the party.
Eventually, but, you know.
And this is our government. It's pretty pathetic.
Cameron, the Labor Party senator who's in Kevin Rudd's camp. David Bradbury, a Labor MP from Western Sydney, who's in Julia Gillard's camp. And I allowed both of them to talk to each other. And the interesting thing was Doug Cameron said to David Bradbury, David, unless you switch sides and back Kevin